If you saw a graph that looks like this one that I'm just about to show you, let's have a quick look. If you saw a graph that looks like this, you'd be pretty upset as well. And just like many of the digital marketers out there, we love our ranking bonus, our Ahrefs graphs, our Semrush graphs. But what if I told you that while things don't look pretty right now, this website's receiving more inquiries, more visibility, more mentions than ever before? We haven't needed to run Facebook ads and Google ads to this campaign for many years, right? But this isn't pretty. I've got heaps more sites like this. Now, if you don't know what I do, my name's Eugene and I build and rank websites. I also run quite a lot of Facebook and Google ads. A long time ago, I realized that traffic diversification, having leads come from all of the sources that matter, is a far more sensible and logical way to be agile and get inquiries. So I'm not an SEO or a Google ads or a Facebook ad specialist. I prefer to pull the levers that work in that particular space with the competitive nature of that space. Now, I have about 800 of my own websites that I've progressed through the ranks. These are like lead gen sites, directory sites. These are test sites that I use to test the algorithm. And what I'm looking at here is a site that I started chipping away at the SEO back in 2022. A lot of my sites are over 10 years old. Now I have a few of these graphs. What we're looking at here is the organic traffic graph from Ahrefs. And while many of my sites still have that trajectory now, what we're looking at here is traffic is dipping from 2023. However, shows a completely different story. So what we're looking at here is 24,000 mentions from AI, from ChatGPT in the last 3 months. So in particular, this is a national online accounting services website, right? This is like a local accountant that is offering accounting services nationally. So that's pretty hard considering the term accountant is normally a localized terminology. I'm looking for an accountant near me. So this is a national campaign. Now what we're looking at here, if we dip a bit deeper, is a lot of my informational intent blog and guide and advisory posts are answering questions very quickly. Now in the last 15 years, I have discovered that writing long form guide-like content that answers a certain query and is the blog of all blogs on that particular topic helps us get attention and trust and authority with Google. Now, over time, that's completely changed. We now need to get straight to the point, give dot points, and answer the query and the intent of that query. Also, minimizing the overlap of topic ideas and topics within a certain piece of a website, So site number 2, same scenario. This was a big boy. I wouldn't say big boy. This is a tiny compared to some of the internet websites, but 45,000 visitors a month, not looking pretty. ChatGPT sending 12,000 citations every 3 months. Site number 3 peaked at 20,000 organic visitors. ChatGPT sending 15,000 citations. Same scenario, leads are through the roof, no longer need Google or Facebook advertising, just SEO, AI SEO, same thing under the hood. Yes, you do need to re-optimize your sites. Yes, a lot of content needs to be rewritten, needs to be shortened, needs to not overlap with other pages. So that's just part of standard SEO procedures that have evolved over the years. Site number 4, same scenario, Ahrefs, not pretty. AI 3.7 leads have never gone higher, and I've got a lot more of these to show. A lot of my sites also have the Ahrefs graph going positively as well. So this is just how I've seen aged sites that are more than 10 years old, more than 5 years old behave. And normally when you look at something like this, if you don't know what you're looking at, a lot of SEOs will panic. And that's why I love what I do so much, because when every month I'm forever a student figuring out what's currently working month on month, looking at new ways to get source traffic, it's easier for me in the long run. I think when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And someone that's obsessed and passionate about that thing can just do it in their spare time and is just obsessed at figuring out the new ways of getting leads. The ways haven't changed. It's just traffic diversification has always been a must, at least in the last 5 years. And I've always been a big believer that running a Facebook ad and a Google ad alongside with levers, I call it the tap. Let's throw some money in here, see what converts, throw some money in there, see what converts. These days, that helps the brand with additional brand mentions. When someone sees your website through a Facebook ad or a Google ad, they are more likely to remember you and search for your brand. That helps AI, that helps search engines, that helps with brand recognition, especially when your brand is a unique name plus key term, bonus points. So traffic is down, leads are up. Here is why. The old SEO graph is no longer telling you what to look at instead, right? Now, once again, it really depends on the industry. It depends on a lot of things, but what the tool says, organic traffic is down, sessions are down, clicks are down, impressions are down, impressions are probably up. So once again, this is just something I slapped together using, of course, Claude, just to give me something to demonstrate. But what the business says, leads are up, AI citations are up, which I can see through Bing Webmaster, branded searches are up, paid dependence depends. If we're running ads, if we have a cost per click, cost per lead that is profitable, a lot of Google ads are not. Search behavior has changed. Most reporting hasn't. So people are still looking at the old Ahrefs graphs, which I look as well. It's something I love when it goes up. When it doesn't, you just have to ask questions. The old search world, 10 blue links. So we're still hunting for the 10 blue links. They're just not as important anymore. The reason I still hunt for the 10 blue links is that's still an organic listing. And everything that I've seen with ChatGPT and Claude and any AI overlay, AI assistant, they are still dipping into the 10 blue links. And whoever shows up in the top 10 has more chances of being cited by AI. That's clearly the correlation that I'm still witnessing years after AI has been live. So optimizing for the 10 blue links, which is the same as optimizing for the AI, H1 titles, meta descriptions, H2, H3, supporting paragraphs, keyword densities, having the exact amount of words in bold, deconstructing the top 10. So that's still the same. But you have to match the user intent. You have to answer the query, whether it's commercial or informational. You have to give them the answer. Otherwise, they're going to bounce. They may have bounced because they've gotten the answer as well. So 10 blue links, click discovery, sessions visibility, one primary channel, traffic performance. Yes, that's 100% true when there was all the money just went into SEO or that one thing. The shift, AI answers appear. Fewer clicks needed, brand recall without click, attention fragments, journey becomes invisible. The new world, AI citations, map pack dominance, that's always been there, branded recall, multi-service discovery, direct return visits. So where your business can now be discovered. Yes, of course, Google Organic, standard, that's always been there. Google Maps pack, it's also been there. But for a local business, this is actually quite easy. There just might be a cost of entry of how many other competitors are in that space and what the cost of entry to how many reviews they have as an average. AI overviews. It's really important to understand that an AI overview or a ChatGPT response is like the receptionist at a library. You used to walk in and you used to say, okay, I want to find books and information about taxation, about accounting services. You would go to that section of the library and you would find books and then you would find what you're looking for, which is essentially the old 10 blue links. Now AI, basically, you walk up to the receptionist, you speak to her and you say, I think I want this, these are my problems. And the receptionist will note down your questions and give you what's called fan out queries. They will divide the request, the paragraph of text, the sentence into 10, 15, maybe 5 sub keywords. Then they will go and read the books, pull the exact paragraphs that are relevant and serve it to you on a silver platter. So it's like a receptionist to the library that answers the query. To go one step further, it's now personalizing the results based on your history, based on your historic searches, based on your buying, where you are in the world, and a lot of other personalizations, your Facebook, your phone data and stuff like that. It gets quite crazy. So ChatGPT, Perplexity, which I still see now, ChatGPT, it's really important to understand, is Microsoft. Microsoft owns OpenAI. Microsoft is essentially using their Bing index. Bing is one of the largest search engines after Google and YouTube. So ChatGPT just dips into the Bing index for answers. And I've seen the ChatGPT crawler also dip into the Google index. So does Perplexity. So really, if you show up well and you showed up well in standard organic listings, you have a higher chance of being cited at this stage, right? Bing is also Copilot, which is Microsoft branded search. Now, yeah, really important one. Direct and return traffic, which is people coming back to you, which has always been the case. So is branded search. It's nothing new. Citations and mentions. Now, this is where just being mentioned consistently on other websites, that's almost a backlink, but you could be mentioned and no backlink going to your website, and that will still benefit you because AI will essentially pull that into their bucket of information, its library. They call it plagiarism, and they will have more information about your brand. So being consistently recommended, being consistently written about in a positive light will help you. So falls into the bucket of kind of backlinks. Backlinks are still extremely important. So the modern signal stack for service-based businesses. Everything that I'm tracking and my North Star is qualified leads. Showing up for keywords that actually matter, that actually bring sales. So commercial intent key terms. We obviously, to do that, we want to show up. We want to show up locally. So maps visibility. We want people to search for our brand. This is where a lot of my lead gen websites are: plumber, Melbourne, tree removal, just tree removal, arborist. Not so much of a brand. Gets traffic, gets attention, gets exact match domains still work. They probably work better than ever before, but it's not a sustainable branded growth. So it's best to have a unique word like my saunas, for example, Cossack sauna. It's just a unique combination of key terms where you have the keyword that you want to rank for as well as the unique brand. And that gives Google and AI understanding that, hey, they're actually only looking for you. So when the big accounting firm, accounting software Xero came along, the users basically educated the search engines that there is this new brand that's writing Xero with an X, okay? AI citations, paid ad dependence. Now, for the last 5 years, I've been pretty forceful on running some kind of paid advertising to get the algorithm working. Now, there is a myth: the more money you pay, if you pay, you get ranked higher on Google. I think there is a bit of truth to that, in that when you do run the ad, it's not so much that they see it as you're bribing them. It's just that there's more people now visiting your website, know of you, which increases the return rate of someone coming through a search using branded key terms. So for example, they clicked on our ad, they landed on our website. That itself isn't enough of a ranking signal, even though they can see that a user's on the site if they're using Google Chrome or Edge. It's the act that later on, for whatever reason, they might want to come back to you. So they'll look up your name, look up your brand. This might be weeks later. And both Bing and Google see a trend of people looking for your brand. There's an increase of that. And that itself helps you gain authority and trust. So not every traffic drop is okay. I'm not saying traffic drops are okay. So traffic drops to investigate. If leads are also falling, that's the most important thing, leads. Rankings sliding on key terms. This will happen all the time, but just the combination of these things you want to be constantly watching. Pages de-indexed or penalized. Now, crawled not indexed, discovered not indexed is one of the ways that Google is communicating to you if certain pages on the website are not high quality enough. to warrant being in the index. That might be because they're duplicate content, might be because they're AI slop, they're not delivering any kind of unique value. One of the more common ones that I see, and look, I used to build a lot of these geo pages as well. When the suburb has Brighton North, Brighton East, Brighton South, Brighton West, and they've gone ahead and built all 4 of them, right? So only one of them or 2 of them might index. And even then, sometimes they'll cannibalize each other. So you just want to make sure that it's home builder Brighton if you are going to build that geo term. So site migrations without redirects, that's just a general one. A lot of the time that happens. Traffic drop, you investigate the site migration and make sure that things are reconnected. 301 redirections happens all the time. New website goes up or there's a rebrand. The old site had SEO maturity. The old site was getting traffic and it was getting rankings. New site goes up. There's no redirection. Everything gets wiped. Technical crawl issues. Now, traffic drop, you can relax on, okay? Where the leads are still coming in and the velocity is still great. Rankings holding or improving. So a lot of the time, the rank trackers, the keywords that actually matter, the commercial intent key terms, have far less search volume than an informational key term. Informational is where you might have a blog that answers how to, it educates. They can be fluctuating all over the place, and a lot of the how-to stuff is now answered by AI. So it's normal to see that completely disappear, but impressions have been increasing. That just shows that AI potentially is citing you, in my experience anyway. But the commercial intent key terms in the organic listing are still holding. AI citations increasing, so traffic drop, but AI citations increasing, branded search is growing, maps visibility and strong. Okay, so that's where a traffic drop, you don't need to stress about as much. This kind of stuff, making sure the redirects are in place and technical crawl issues, there's no blocking the AI crawler, for example. So traffic was never really the thing. While it's really enjoyable to see things move up and it's a good sign SEO is potentially working, all that matters at the end of the month is revenue and profit, which comes from contacts and leads and inquiries and phone calls. And that's everything that I always optimize for with all of my campaigns. Hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.